Hi, this is Kara from karamariaananda.com, and today I'm going to be talking about lady stuff. I'm going to be answering your questions, and I have a question today from Pamela, who says, I am a person who is hopefully going to embark into mamahood in the next 2 or 3 years. Any tips or thoughts for those of us that want to mindfully prepare our bodies and lives for that most epic journey? I'm thinking of specifics here: pregnancy and birth planning, optimizing health for pregnancy, natural fertility awareness, etc. I'm enjoying all of your videos. Thank you. Well, thank you, Pamela. And thank you, Pamela, for also being somebody who is so considerate as to actually planning to bring a child into this world consciously and doing what you can beforehand to make it the best scenario for you and your pregnancy and your birth and your family and this baby's health and well being. I think that this is just wonderful, and my hope is really that more and more parents today have the education and the information and the forethought to really plan and prepare their bodies and souls and families for bringing in new children, because it's just going to help make the world a better place, and I'm all about that. So, definitely, there are a lot of things that you can do to prepare. And these are going to help you whether or not you have a baby. Because everything that you do to live a healthier life, to be more vibrant, to reduce your stress, and to be in a better place to bring new creative projects and experiences into your life is going to make things better for you in so many different ways. So, number one, 2 to 3 years out, that's a really good time frame. First off, have you been on the pill or do you have an IUD? If those of either of those methods of birth control have been a part of your life recently or still are, now is the perfect time to let those go and allow your body to heal and replenish itself after this experience. Many women are on hormonal birth control before deciding to have a baby, and it's really good to actually stop using hormonal birth control about 2, 3 years before you plan to get pregnant. It's very common for women to experience certain nutritional deficiencies during the time of being on birth control pills, such as a zinc deficiency and other minerals. So, this is really important to focus on boosting your nutrition and remineralizing your body and helping your body to be as vibrant and healthy as possible to enhance your fertility and to help you to be able to conceive in the future and have the stores and the resources within your body to grow that new human being. So, other things that you might want to do is consider cleansing. Cleansing our bodies and detoxifying our bodies before having a baby is becoming more and more important. There are so many toxins now in our environment. We're looking at over 80,000 different chemicals that have been introduced into our environment over the last almost 100 years. And it's now very well known that mother's breast milk has high levels of dioxins, as well as things like jet fuel and pesticides and all kinds of chemicals. Well, the more that you cleanse before getting pregnant, the less chemicals that you're going to have in your body, the less that you're going to have industrial pollution in your breast milk. And this is really important because, especially with first babies, it seems that our breast milk is actually a way in which women's bodies release significant amounts of toxins. And our firstborn children that are breastfeeding receive the most of it. The second and third children don't get as much of that dump through the breast milk as the firstborn does. However, there was a study in Japan that showed that women who took high amounts, I think it was about 6 tablespoons, you'll have to check in with that, of chlorella, but women who took chlorella prenatally actually found that they had significantly less levels of dioxins and toxins in their breast milk. So, however, I'm really a fan of cleansing before pregnancy because at the same time, you don't want to be chelating and detoxifying things from your body while you're pregnant because it still could go into your bloodstream, still could go to the baby and be in the amniotic fluid. So, 2 years prior to having a baby is a great time to be detoxifying, increasing things like chlorella and zeolites and green juices, and going on any kind of cleanse. I would look into some guided cleanses as well to help support you to detoxify your body. That is going to help you to have increased fertility. It's also going to help make sure that you pass on less toxins from our environment, which everybody is exposed to these days, from our water, from our air, from our food, from our household supplies to your baby. Now, the 6 months prior to conceiving is a time where you do not want to be cleansing. That's a time where you really want to be nourishing your body with the most nutrient dense foods. This is something that has been done in indigenous cultures around the world for thousands of years. Cultures all over the planet, focusing on their own individual local food supplies, have always honored certain sacred foods as being particularly important that they would give to the young women who are about to become mothers or to the pregnant women. These were really nutrient dense foods such as things like caviar, fish eggs, livers, grass fed, springtime raw butter, cod liver oil. All of these kinds of things are very, very high in certain nutrients that are extremely helpful for mothers and babies. So I would say stock up on your superfoods, start eating your spirulina and your chlorella, doing your green juices, eating really high quality meats. If you're eating meat and animal products, make sure that it's grass fed, raw milk and dairy, wild foods, wild fish, especially the organ meats are really high in certain nutrients that are specifically targeted towards fertility. And that's just a little bit on the nutrition forefront, which I believe that nutrition is really one of the key things that you can do. One of the things that's going to really empower you to optimize your fertility, which, whether or not you do have a baby, I hope that your dreams come true and that if a baby is in your highest, manifestation, that you have the most amazing birth and pregnancy possible. But it's also really good to know that enhancing your fertility, even if you're not going to have a baby, is going to help you have enhanced sexuality, enhanced longevity, and just greater health overall. So the more that we can do to enhance our fertility is going to enhance our vitality. It's going to enhance our entire lives and help us be more effective at creating anything, whether it's a baby or a business or a book or whatever it is that you want to channel that creative energy in your life into. Stress is also a very key factor. One of the highest causes of infertility is stress. It's epidemic in our society today. We're so overwhelmed and overstimulated. So start taking time now for meditation, connecting with yourself, and connecting with the soul and spirit of this baby that you are looking to bring in. And really look inside to your heart and to your intuitive guidance to find out what you feel called to do to make space in your life for this baby. And of course, having the right partner is very significant in bringing a baby into this world. So make sure that that man in your life or that donor in your life, however you are going to be conceiving this child, is the most awesome, amazing, intelligent, supportive person that's going to just really support you, because you're going to have a relationship with that person for at least the next 20 years after having that baby. So it's a good idea to do your best to make sure that the person that you choose to create that baby with is the most amazing potential parent possible. Yes, yes, yes. There's so much that you can do, and I'm really, really excited that you are consciously planning to bring this baby into this world. This is a question that I get asked actually a lot. A lot of people are wanting to know what they can do to help bring babies into the world in the best possible way. So, here's a couple books for further research that I'd like to recommend that you check out. There's a wonderful book called Beautiful Babies, which is written by Kristen Michaelis, and it's all about optimal nutrition for fertility, pregnancy, and breastfeeding. Another wonderful book to give you good information about fertility and nutrition is The Nourishing Traditions Cookbook by Sally Fallon, the founder of the Weston Price Foundation. Also, a really interesting book about connecting with the spirit of your baby before conception is Spirit Babies. That's a really fascinating book, and it's going to open up your eyes to how you can potentially communicate and tune into the child that is coming to you even before you conceive this baby, which is going to help with you to be able to connect with that baby when you're pregnant too, and when they're just a little baby and they can't speak to you, because the more that we can communicate psychically and intuitively with our children, the more that we have an ability to understand what we can do to make the best situation possible for them. Also, I recommend you check out my book, which is called How to Have an Awesome Birth, and is definitely beneficial for you before getting pregnant. In fact, I recommend that everybody read this book before getting pregnant, because most of the time, by the time you're already pregnant, you've already made up your mind about certain kinds of decisions: who you're going to go to, where you're going to have your birth, who's going to be your care provider, what kinds of things you're going to be experiencing during pregnancy and birth. So, the more that you can read about pregnancy, birth, and parenting beforehand, the better. So, check out my book, How to Have an Awesome Birth, which is available at my website, karamariaananda.com. And thank you very much for your question. I love sharing information about lady stuff. So if you got any lady stuff questions about health and pregnancy and life and business and relationships, then send them on in to me, and your question might be featured in an upcoming YouTube video as well. Okay, thanks so much.